Fighter, the tank class who annoys the killer in an attempt to keep them away from other survivors. Fighter is the only class that actually, allows you to stun the killer. It's not like a simple slowdown like Security Guard or Technician does. By this, I mean hitting the killer with your axe actually causes them to stop moving, and makes them go into a stunned animation for around 3 seconds. This class takes quite a lot of skill to use, given you have to predict the killer and such, but the payoff is really nice if you're good at looping and parrying. Alright, that's enough rambling for now. Let's go ahead and get into the stats. Your health is 110. This is a little higher than other survivors since you're the tank of the group. You'll be the one in the killer's face a lot, so taking damage is kind of expected, and you are going to need that health in order to survive a lot of hits. Your walk speed is 12, your run speed is 24, and your stamina is 100. These 3 stats typically remain untouched for each class so far. Swing is your first ability, and what you mainly use for stunning the killer. Upon pressing the ability key, you'll throw yourself forward a bit and swing your axe. If this successfully lands, you'll stun the killer for around 3 seconds and grant debuffs, though these debuffs are tied to how many parry charges you have, which can be seen at the bottom left of the ability. You will always start the round with at least 1 charge, and hitting a parry grants you another charge, up to 3 charges in total. For having a single charge and hitting the killer, you will inflict the killer with just slowness. I've tested around with a friend since the wiki didn't state that, it gives you slowness, but yes, you do grant slowness on this, first charge, and it lasts for around 7 seconds. Having 2 charges will inflict the killer with blindness and deafness for around 7 seconds. And finally, having 3 charges will inflict the killer with only confusion for around 6 seconds. Do be aware though, the time the killer is stunned for doesn't change, even if you have all 3 charges. The only thing that does change with the charges are the debuffs you grant. Other than that, swing is quite basic, so that's all I can really say for it right now. Parry is your second ability, and like I've mentioned before, is what you'll be using to get charges for your swing. Upon pressing the ability key, you will raise your axe to brace yourself. If the killer hits you while you're bracing, it will stun them for around a second and grant you a charge. But if you miss, you'll be given weakness for 2 seconds, and the killer gets a free hit. Though do be aware that there's still a bug or something in the game that if you do hit a parry, you're still given weakness. I don't know why they haven't fixed that, but yeah. The things you can parry do need a bit of playing around with, but you can parry a majority of everything besides like minions, traps, Mimic's drill ability, and just other stuff like that. Besides that, I don't think I really have anything else to say about parry, since it's also pretty simple, so let's go ahead and move on. Fighter is basically the class that is the I want an adrenaline rush survivor that every Asym basically just has for some reason. You have to put yourself into the killer's shoes, you have to know how the killer plays, and you yourself have to know killer knowledge all so you can, hit a parry. A lot goes into playing this class, and I'm not the biggest fan of playing them myself. That's just because I'm not really the greatest at predictions, which is very important for this class. I will say, Fighter does shine in the moments when a teammate is helpless and ragdolled from the killer. Of course, if you're around when this happens, since most killers don't really pay attention to their surroundings, so you could just run up and get a parry off them, since they tend to swing at ragdolled players. Do be aware though, some killers are smart and will wait for the survivor to get up, since they know ragdolled survivors have damage reduction. If you run in during this time, you'll most likely just get hit as well as the other survivor, and it will be more damaging to you because of weakness. Of course, you can attempt to play around this, it's just a battle of who's smarter in the interaction, and that's kinda what Fighter is. High risk, high reward, plain and simple. You have the HP for it, so why not mess around? You're supposed to keep the killer on you after all, so who cares? Have fun. I love being able to stop someone from being hit by parrying at the right time. The Survivor is quite literally just a hype and aura moments class, as parry and punch survivors are in, any Asym. With that being said, still do understand that you don't really want to be dying, so if you need to preserve yourself, do it, and maybe try finding a medic if there's any in the match. I don't really have much else I could say about the fighter. Just be smart when you're in the killer's face and you'll probably be fine. But try and change up your playstyle during a round, since some killers are smart and will, learn your playstyle. Also, predicting takes a while to learn, so don't beat yourself up if you're, missing a lot. But, okay, let's go ahead and wrap this up now. Well, I hope you found this helpful in some way. This video was more on the shorter side since Fighter is mainly a survivor based around like one thing, which is predicting the killer. With that being said though, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you did. I'll be back for Technician next, but it'll take a little longer since I do need a break from this game right now. Getting these out weekly is a bit much for me, and Technician is still pretty new, and I need to learn to play them. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, night, or maybe evening, and I'll see you later.